Hey guys, so I had the Marksmanship Hunter all recorded and uh, went to go edit the video and no sound. I don't know why that keeps happening. It's driving me crazy. It's probably the number one reason why I don't upload videos on a regular basis. Spending an hour on a video, for even 40 minutes, 30 minutes on a video, and having to redo it because there was no sound is infuriating. And it's just my it's my settings, and I need to get in there and tweak it. But all that aside, second attempt at the video for the Marksman Hunter. Marksman Hunter is awesome. I really wish I had captured my enthusiasm for it, but I will try a second time. Okay, so Marksmanship Hunter. Let's get in open talents here. Can operate with a pet. It doesn't have to. The very first thing you get as a Marksmanship Hunter is the passive ability called Lone Wolf that lets you do 10% more damage as long as you do not have a pet summoned. This is super handy for when you're not doing solo content. But you can pull out a pet if you'd like. You can summon a pet. You'll see that my Lone Wolf buff up here on the top right goes away. I do 10% less damage. I should say I do regular damage. But I have a pet. So you can come in here to hit N for your talents, come into your pet, make him a tank, send him off here to do stuff, and then you can do your damage as your, as you normally would. And he can tank for you, or not, whatever. Whatever you want to do with your pet. I'm going to dismiss my pet and operate without it because I don't know that you necessarily need it. Marksmanship Hunter is ridiculous. It's really fun and ridiculous in a good way. So let's get into the talents here. And the talents, as I go through them, will kind of show you how to play marksmanship all at the same time. So some of the stuff that you're probably not going to see me use is something like misdirection. That's more of a group ability. Survival of the fittest is these are abilities as you read them. You can use these tar trap to slow things down, as they go over top of it. It makes a slow down area. Freezing trap you throw out there, and as it gets target walks through it, it will trigger and then freeze the target. And feign death just drops you out of combat. It's really useful. Like if you're running from a mob, something's attacking you and you just do not want to engage it, you can get away and then hit feign death. It will act as if you died, so all of the mobs that you're playing with go reset. They go back to doing whatever they're doing. They're not going to attack you anymore. You can get up and go on your merry way. So that's cool. Alright, so let's go into some of these abilities. So the talents here, the very first row, we have this thing called Master Marksman. It's a passive ability. Don't have to do anything about it. Aim shot has a 100% chance to reduce the cost, the focus cost of your next arcane shot or multi-shot by 100%. So aim shot is this ability here. Aim shot's a 2-second cast, and you have 2 charges. It's almost a 10-second cooldown before you can use it again. So you're not going to be able to spam it. Plus it costs 30 focus. You have 100 focus, so you wouldn't be able to cast much more than 3 at a time anyway. What this talent does is makes it so that this ability, Arcane Shot, which costs 15 focus, it reduces the cost of that by 100%. So I will cast Aim Shot here, and then I'm going to cast, watch my focus up here. I'm going to cast Arcane Shot, and it doesn't cost any focus. So that's what that does. Really nice. And I'll tell you about that, why that's nice. Serpent Sting here. Fire a shot that poisons your target, causing them to take 322 nature damage instantly, so right away, and then an additional 1605 nature damage over 12 seconds. That's super weak, needs a buff. Next one over here is Murder of Crows. I talked to you about that in the Beastmaster video. And this does a bucket load of damage, for almost 5,000 damage over 15 seconds, whereas this one is not anywhere close to that. The only benefit this one has is that it does that damage initially and then does a damage over time effect. It's not anywhere close to Murder of Crows. This one is instant cast. You can cast it as many times as you want. I don't believe it stacks. Let's test that. No, it does not stack. The only benefit is that I guess that this one's on a minute cooldown. But if you're out leveling, you're most likely, like I said in the Beastmaster video, you're most likely going to kill the target, which resets the cooldown, which negates the minute cooldown that Murder of Crows has. So as a leveling player, I would not ever pick Serpent Sting. It's just not strong enough. So I'd pick either Murder of Crows or Master Marksman. Careful Aim is another passive ability. Aim Shot, which is this 2-second cast, has a 50% chance to deal 100% bonus damage to targets who are above 80% health or below 20% health. So already this one has loads of benefit, more than its counterpart in the Beastmaster, because it does damage above 80% health as well. So this one is actually pretty good for leveling. It's a 50% chance, but that's okay. That's fine. I don't mind that. Volley is pretty weak, I think. It's a 10% chance of your auto shots. So that's these here. So as I'm shooting, that's an auto shot, right? I'm not doing anything. I'm not pushing any buttons. The fire time is actually relatively slow, right? So 1 out of every 10 shots is going to deal 1,600 physical damage to everybody around it. That's not great. I don't think that's great at all. I think that's terrible, a terrible talent. If it was 10% of all of your damage had a chance to do that, that would be really cool. I'd probably pick it. Explosive Shot is another one that I just don't like. I think I talked about that in the other one. Just not a fan. I'll show you what it does since I didn't show you in the other video. So it doesn't matter where you're targeting, it matters where you're looking. And you hit it, it shoots a fire, and then you have to hit it again. You have to activate it a second time for it to blow up. So I'll wait for that to come off of cooldown, and then we'll shoot it again. And I feel like the music is crazy loud. Maybe it's just in my head, but let's turn off. Let's just turn off the music. There we go. Alright, and I inadvertently turned everything else up, so let's go back down to 10%. There we go. Okay, so now if I'm sitting here and I'm attacking this, and I usually like to spam my buttons, right? So that way when they come off of cooldown, they get activated immediately, right? So what ends up happening for me is I'll be spamming Explosive Shot as it's coming off of cooldown, and this will happen, where I'll release it and then it'll blow up in my face. So I'm not a fan of that because I'll hit it twice. So you hit it once, it fires a shot, and hit it again and it explodes. I think it's the preferred talent. I don't like it. I don't know. For me, I like the passive, the 50% chance to do, so watch this, right? So we'll see if it activates here. I haven't done damage to this guy. 5,700 and whatever damage, that's great. We'll drop combat. And then we'll fire again. See what the damage is like. 10,000 damage. So that's awesome. I like that a lot. Okay, Trailblazer here for the same reasons I mentioned in the Beastmaster video. The rest of these are exactly the same. In this row here, steady focus is pretty great. So how this plays if you have steady focus, steady shot is a focus generating ability. So these two here, our aim shot and arcane shot, are focus spending. Rapid fire and steady shot are focus generating. So how you when you have steady focus, this is how you would kind of play. You would spend all of your focus down to as low as you can get it, right? You just dump it all, get rid of it, and then you do rapid fire, and then you would cast steady shot as much as possible, and you watch the cast time just gets faster and faster and faster until I'm full, right? So that's the idea, is that the more you cast it, the faster it goes, which is cool, right? Yeah, it's kind of like a spend all your focus, build all your focus relatively quickly, spend all your focus again, etc. Streamline is pretty cool. Now lasts 30% longer, which means that you're generating more focus over its duration. So it shoots 10 shots over 2.5 seconds. So 30% longer than that. It's going to give you a few more shots, which means a few more focus, which is pretty good. Hunter's Mark is kind of fun because it debuffs the target. So it does not put you into combat. So I cast it on there. It lasts forever. There's no timer on it. And it lets you do 5% more damage to the target. And when the target dies, you gain focus, 20 focus. So it's pretty good for leveling. I think it's great for leveling. So let's say that you put when you combine it with careful aim, 100% bonus damage to targets above 80% health, and you get 5% more damage on top of that for your aim shot. So like when I start combat, I'm going to start with aim shot, and then I'm going to immediately follow it up with arcane shot because of the Master Marksman. It's it's pretty good. It's the next one down here on the next level here. Born to be Wild is terrible for leveling. Your aspect of the cheetah is 3 minutes. Your aspect of the turtle is 3 minutes. Taking 20% off of that is not very useful leveling. It becomes more useful in raids when you're actually using them on a regular basis. You're using them for mechanics and stuff. Aspect of the cheetah, not so much. But maybe, you'll use aspect of the cheetah to help your whole raid move faster or something. So it's kind of nice to have time off of that. Post haste, disengage also frees you from all movement impairing effects and increase movement speed by 50%. So that's this ability here, disengage. When you activate disengage, it sends you backwards, no matter which way you're looking with your camera. If I'm looking over here, it's going to send me backwards. So what some people will do with disengage is, let's say that I'm running this direction here, and I want to use disengage to help me get there faster, and then give me a 50% movement speed for 4 seconds. So what I'll do is, once the stuff cools down, jump up in the air, turn around, disengage, turn back around, and then activate aspect of the cheetah. And that will help me get places rather quickly. I think it's cool. Binding shot is pretty cool. It shoots a target and tethers them. It's an AoE actually. It's pretty cool. So what's the cooldown? It's 45 seconds. That's fine. So I'm going to toss it over there. And if this target were to move outside of the 5-yard range, 5-yard range from the arrow, then it would stun them, or root them in place rather, for 5 seconds. Pretty good. But I like post haste personally. Binding shot's more of a PvP thing, I think. Or more, you can use it leveling. It can be used to, like, let's say that you're going to go up against several monsters, and you want to just focus on one. Well, you toss the binding shot over here to them, shoot this guy. These guys will step out of that 5-yard range because they're coming after you, and it roots them in place for 5 seconds, letting you kill this guy and attack this guy. So, but yeah. Okay, next on the row here is lethal shots. Steady shot has a 25% chance. Steady shot, that's this one here, your spammable focus generating. Steady shot has a 25% chance to cause your next aim shot or rapid fire to be a guaranteed critical strike. Pretty cool. That could also be combined with maybe steady focus. Barrage is for AoE only, really, and it does an average amount of damage. So what happens is you shoot it and it goes off in like a V from your in front of your character here, and does random damage to whoever is in there, and it's supposed to average out to about 4,200 damage. I don't like the way that mechanic works, specifically the average. Sometimes you could get more, sometimes you get less. I think that's weird. Double tap I like. Your next aim shot will fire a second time instantly at 100% power without consuming focus, which is pretty cool. Or your next rapid fire will shoot an additional shot. So check this out. So I've got Hunter's Mark on the guy. I'm gonna hit double tap, and then I'm gonna hit aim shot, and this is gonna do a crazy amount of damage. It should anyway. So yeah, so your alpha shot could be 20,000, a little bit more, maybe 30,000 damage, and then you follow that up with aim shot or arcane shot, which is another lots of damage. So okay, so coming down here to this last one, casting arcane shot or multi-shot will reduce the cooldown of true shot by 2.5 seconds. So true shot is your long cooldown, and it gains 1 charge of aimed shot instantly and gives you 30% haste for 15 seconds. So every time you cast arcane shot, you reduce the cooldown of true shot by 2.5 seconds. It's pretty good. I like lock and load. This is my favorite on this row. I'm getting this talent from that ring, at least for a while. And your ranged auto attacks have a 5% chance, so that's even less than volley, to trigger lock and load, causing your next aim shot to cost no focus and be instant cast. So that's pretty good. So when you get a free aim shot, which also triggers arcane shot, that's pretty great. So let's talk about a passive in here that you haven't seen yet. It's called precise shots. So aim shot, that's your 2-second cast, causes your next 1 to 2 arcane shots to deal 100% more damage. So that combines really well with Master Marksman here. When it does 100% more damage at no cost, that's pretty great. So that's why when you first come up to a target, if you have careful aim, the first ability you want to do is aimed shot, and then because of your passive and this talent here, you're going to do arcane shot. So if you have, let me show you what this does, what this build does. It's pretty ridiculous. I'm going to fly out to a Legion area where mobs are going to be at my level, and show you what this does. We're just going to fly down to, and actually this area that I'm going to go to is kind of a higher end, maybe not the highest end, but kind of higher end mobs. You know, if I were to come down over here, I could find mobs that were not that difficult to defeat. And wouldn't really represent what this spec can do. It's kind of amazing. So we're gonna come down here and we're gonna pick one of these beefier mobs. Definitely not this guy. These guys will work. These guys, Dreadlords here, whatever they're called. So check this out. I'm gonna put Hunter's Mark on this guy. I'm gonna use double tap. I'm gonna cast Aim Shot, follow it up by an Arcane Shot. Boom, dead. And this guy, Hunter's Mark, Aim Shot for that extra damage. Dead. Aim Shot. Oh, Hunter's Mark. No, I didn't get a Hunter's Mark on there first. But yeah, one-shotting mobs is really fun. So, Hunter's Mark, Aim Shot, Arcane Shot. Didn't even get Arcane Shot off. Yeah, so Marksmanship Hunter, if you have somebody else with you, like you're running around with somebody that's a tank or somebody that's getting all of that threat off of you, this is pretty fun, I think. You're just wrecking the mobs. And these guys are my level. You know, they're I don't have crazy gear on. You know, 212, I guess. Item level. But I think this is just bananas. Yeah. So anyway, that's Marksmanship Hunter. Hope you liked it. If you have any questions, give me a call. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.